However, it's not just in Asia or Europe that dragons have appeared in mythology. Dragons also appeared in Egyptian mythology. The creature, doesn't talk about that here, the creature Apophis was supposedly some sort of serpent dragon creature, and he would fight daily with Ra. But Ra would always be reborn every day, so Apophis would never quite get the upper hand. You can't really sort of beat something that gets reborn every day at sunrise. Sort of screws things over. And eclipses were often put down to him, and he was trying to swallow the sun, but the fact that the sun came back meant Ra is supreme, and stuff. And then the Babylonians, which I believe appeared before the Egyptians, God, terrible grammar. In the Babylonian Epic of Creation, which was imposed during the 2nd century, so maybe that wasn't before the Egyptians, who knows. There was a struggle between the god, Abzu, who was the god of the primordial waters which lay beneath the earth, and his consort, Tiamat, who was a dragon of the sea, and they fought against their son, Ea, who was the god of wisdom. And Ea fought and killed Abzu and replaced him, and he prepared for war against his mother, but she gave birth to a host of dreadful creatures in order to fight him. The giant snakes, sharp of tooth and unsparing of fang. I like that, unsparing of fang. She filled their bodies with venom instead of blood. She cloaked ferocious dragons with fearsome rays, and made them bear mantles of radiance, made them godlike. That was weird. That was a sort of half British, half Scottish accent. Moving away from Egypt, back up to Britain, if we could talk about the red dragon of Wales, or the Ddraig Goch. I hope my Welsh accent was okay there. I actually have the proper story over here. A gypsy boy came to a village within a day of the time when every man, save one, had been devoured by an especially ferocious creature, the red dragon, the Ddraig Goch. The Ddraig Goch. I like that. Yeah, this sole survivor pleaded with the gypsy to leave before the dragon came back, but as he was talking to him, the dragon came back. Whoopsie. And landed right in front of them. But the gypsy boy held up his hand and said, if it tried to eat him, then it would choke on him. And the dragon was rather doubtful of this. He suggested a test. He picked up a huge stone and he crushed it to dust. And then the gypsy asked the dragon if it could squeeze water out of a stone, and then the gypsy picked up a muslin bag full of cheese and began to squeeze the liquid from it. In case none of you have ever tried to make your own cheese, muslin is like a type of fabric that you put curds in after curdling milk into curds and whey. You get rid of the whey, you put the curds into the muslin, and then you squeeze it to get rid of all the liquid. Anyway, they continued doing fairly things like this, and the gypsy continued tricking the dragon, and so on and so on, and finally the boy pretended to be friends with the dragon and invited him back to his camp, and they were met by hordes, I'm quoting here, by hordes of naked gypsy women. Naked gypsy children. When the dragon asked who they were, the boy said they were all his children, and they were. Don't ask me how a boy has kids. Old enough for this sort of stuff. But when the dragon asked who they were, the boy said they were all his children, and they were so hungry he thought the dragon might make a good supper for them. And at that, the dragon flew away and was never seen again, because naked gypsy children are that frightening.